after a minute.
Greenhouse effect.
Hello, I'd like to welcome everybody to the 8-Ball Billiards Cafe. We just opened recently. I'm Jay Montpelier, Tournament Director of the 13th Annual the Regional Winter Pool Tournament. This is our 7th road trip, and the idea of the road trip was to honor an old pool time hall and hold locations in that community. To recap, we honored Mayans of Plattsburgh, Twas of Keysville, Palace Billiard Academy of Saranac Lake, Barton's Billiard Academy of Malone, Marinos and Costinos of Line Mountain, Holly Jacksons of Chateauguay, and this year we honored Homer Factos of Osable Forks, and I'll mention more about him as the tournament goes on. And anybody with any information on an old pool hall that was in your community, please contact us, and we'd be more than happy to go up and do a story on you. This is our 2nd annual Hard Luck Tournament. It's open to anyone who played and didn't qualify. It will start in about an hour. The entry fees of $15 and trophies will go to the top 3 players. For our main event, prizes include a Sneaky Pete 2-piece cue, a t-shirt, and a billiard towel. And in first place, you'll get a 50th anniversary Corvette cue valued at $299 made by McDermott. Second place, you'll get a McDermott exotic wood cue valued at $250 in a trophy. Third place is an Action Dolphin cue valued at $95 in a trophy. And the champion will have their name engraved on the Tournament of Champions plaque. And this is 13 years we've been giving cues, and we're going to take a little turn. Next year we're going to start. First place will receive $500, second place will receive $300, and third place will receive $200. I'd like to thank all our sponsors, all the players, and all the referees, and I'd also like to thank our videographer, Calvin Castine. Let's all give him a big hand. Now, when I introduce our players and referees, everybody give them a big hand. They did a lot of hard work to get here, and some people had to play in more than one tournament, and some only had to play in one. But for the most part, they worked really hard to get here. Our referees, we have 2 returning referees, Ken Finette and Jason Stone. And Dave Sell, who's a past referee, will be our 3rd referee this year. Ladies and gentlemen, here's our lineup for 2005. He's playing for the American Legion Post 504 in Osable Forks. He's a 3-time finalist. He's from West Jay-Z, Jim Washburn. He's playing for 20 Maine in Osable Forks. He's a 4-time finalist. He's a 2-time champ. He's from Chateauguay, Herbie Collins. He's playing for Riverside Hotel and Bowling Lanes in Osable Forks. He's a 3-time finalist, a 1-time champ. He's from Ellenberg Depot, Rick Giroux. He's playing for the American Legion 912 in Ross's Point. He's a 5-time finalist, a 1-time champ. He's from Ross's Point, Don Cook. He's playing for Armin's in Ross's Point. It's his 2nd turn in the finals. He's from Malone, Jeff Benware. He's playing for Big Jeffs in Champlain. He's a 2-time finalist and a 1-time champ. He's from West Jay-Z, Neil Young. He's playing for the VFW Post 1418 in Champlain. He's a 1st-time finalist. He's from Morrisonville, Bill Hathaway. He's playing for Beaumont Lanes in Ross's Point. He's a 1st-time finalist. He's from Morrisonville, Sean Agony. And I'd just like to mention, guys, that, ladies and gentlemen, all our finalists this year, they beat a past finalist for the finals when they qualified at that location. So every one of our 2nd place players are a past finalist that got beat out. I'd like to mention if there's a problem that occurs during the tournament, stop the play immediately. Our referees are going to acknowledge it between themselves and acknowledge it with the opponents, so that if the problem occurs, it'll stop there and nobody will touch a cue ball until it's agreed that it was a foul. Let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'd like to thank everybody for coming, and I hope you have a real good time today and play your hearts out. Thank you.
Okay, the official team photo has been taken, tournament photo has been taken, and official announcement from Jay Montpelier, the tournament directors, and we have the first game of what will be a very long day here. A very short day for some people, but a long day for us because we're going to be here as long as they're still playing. It'll be the defending champion Rick Giro and Bill Hathaway in this first game. Games are best 2 out of 3. A winner will advance in the winner's bracket, and the loser will go to the loser's bracket. It's a double elimination tournament. Rick Giro is the defending champion, correct, Jay?
Yes, he is.
And Rick wearing that Yankee hat reminds me that every year that Rick Giro wins, the Red Sox win. So, as a Yankee fan, he must be rooting. As a Yankee fan, he's rooting against himself right now.
I don't want to go there. I kind of like the Yankees too.
As usual, Jay, we'll probably go over a little bit of the rules that you use. Some of them for old-time pool players who haven't seen coverage of past tournaments might be a little surprising, like the ball in hand. But what are some of the rules that people might be expect to be shown today during the course of play?
Well, Calvin, you have, after the break, it's choice. So if you make one ball, you still get to take whatever you want. You must declare your group and then make a ball legally after you declare the group. Every time you shoot, you must contact your object ball of your group first, and if nothing goes in, you must send something to a rail. Anytime you foul where you don't send something to a rail or you touch any ball with your cue stick or your hand or clothing, it will be ball in hand, which is given to anybody, given to the person to be placed anywhere on the table. So Rick didn't make a legal shot, so it'll go to Bill Hathaway, and he'll have choice. He'll declare which group he wants.
Well, because Rick didn't sink that first ball after making on the break, it's still choice here.
Yes, and Bill's carefully thinking this over because these two guys play in our Thursday night league, and one's in first and one's in second, and they've been battling all year, so they know the way each other plays, and they know that they want to run them out if they can. So Bill called high balls. He legally has them. If it would have fallen in the side, he wouldn't have them anymore.
Now, is it pretty standard on this having to make that first ball after the break? Because I know back when I was playing pool on a regular basis, if you broke and you got a high ball, then you got the high balls. You didn't get a choice.
Well, it's Billiard Congress of America rules. We've been playing them in this league, in this tournament for the whole time, all 13 years. The Northern Tier Pool League in Champlain Rouse's Point has been playing by that rule. What it does is it doesn't penalize you for making a ball in the break. You could make a low ball, say, and not be able to see anything. This way it gives you an opportunity to shoot. We're playing this year on a brand new Great American pool table. It came in the other day. That was a an anxious spectator who wanted to see the game.
Tickets are what, $30 to get in? to watch?
$30, but the front row seats are $50, and he didn't pay his
Oh,
$50.
I didn't pay the 50. That happens at ballparks all the time. People try to sneak into the better seats.
That was a pretty hard shot. Rick had to go between those two high balls. And now he's at a point where he's really in a tough spot because all he can see is his 7-ball. And he probably will go for that one because if he takes a chance on going off the rail to hit one of his others, he stands a chance of missing them. Right now he's probably thinking how he's going to leave Bill. A wild shot would be the 7 off the high ball in the, near the side pocket and play it down in the corner, but then he has no control of his cue ball.
Well, he could go off the bank and try to at least touch one of his balls down by the...
Yes, he could go down and kick it back. He could also, Calvin, when you said that, I saw that he could kick off the rail here and play the 7 back over in the side, but that's a pretty tough shot too. Usually the first match of the day is a pretty tense match. The guys are a little nervous and everybody's watching the game, whereas later in the day people wander. Now what he did there is, I think, what he tried to do was tie up that 12-ball down there for Bill. So in case Bill gets his 3 out of here, he's going to have a hard time getting his 12-ball in.
They do have to call each shot, all right?
Yes, they have to call the ball in the pocket. It doesn't matter how it gets there. And usually what we do, if the ball is straight in the pocket, the guys don't actually physically call it.
Unless it's the 8-ball.
Unless it's the 8-ball, that's right, Calvin. And they have to use that token, which the referees this year are going to walk over and hand it to the players, so we don't have any controversy on that.
So in years past, they had to ask the referee for it.
Yes, and in fact, we've had a few players that lost a game and even a match because they forgot about it. They were so excited about the run out that they had that they never even thought of the token and put the 8 in. They called it, but they didn't put the token by the pocket.
All right, ball in hand now for Rick Giro. He's got a pile of them, but that's 12 that's down there that's interfering with his view.
Well, he's got a perfect opportunity right here because he's got 4 balls. He's got 2 of them he can use for break balls, whichever way he wants to go, whether he plays a 2 over in the right-hand corner of your screen and draws back and breaks out that 5 and 7, or he plays a 6 in either corner pocket and he gets a break shot. So right now he's considering how he's going to break those 2 balls out. Now this is kind of one of those things that can happen when you go for a breakout.
Hit a little too hard, and he darn lucky he didn't scratch.
Yeah, and he's up the table. Maybe he can see his 6-ball. If he can, he's got a good opportunity here. Played that very well. If the 5 goes in here, he could finish the game.
Well, that 8 is close to the bank, so he's got to leave himself a good position after he shoots that last ball.
Well, I believe he's going to have to leave the cue ball on the other side of the 2, but that'll give him an opportunity to draw the cue ball back for the 8 in the right-hand pocket. Very, very tough. He can do it here. I don't think it's where he wanted to be, but
No, he just has to call the pocket. He doesn't have to call a kiss off the 12 or anything like that, right?
right, just ball in pocket. I don't know if that 2 rolled in there, Calvin. What do you think?
It looks like it's blocking a clear shot at the 12, but I don't know.
Bill had a hard shot there, so he didn't try to get fancy with it. He pocketed his ball, and now he's going to play up the table for the 8, probably in the left-hand corner. Tokens down.
He seems to have created a new dance. Never before seen an alpha.
A lot of pressure on that shot. It was a very hard shot, and there was a lot of pressure. Here's Rick's opportunity. Get a nice soft shot on the 2 ball, and he'll come around. He'll be able to put maybe the 8 in the side.
Be careful not to get too close. His dance fever is acute, like smallpox. Over 200 years ago, John Molson founded his brewery on a simple truth.
And that's probably what he's going to do.
Remember, it's no cooling, it's April, and weather is definitely reflecting that with a flood watch effect from the afternoon today to Sunday evening. Rain heavy at times throughout the day and the night. 44 and occasional rain at 50. Rain snow showers are likely on Sunday night.
Game 1 goes to Rick Giro.
Hathaway will be breaking for game 2, best of 3. First match of the day, 13th annual pool tournament. He's going for the high balls. Even though everything he sank on the break was a low ball, he thought he had better shots at the high balls, so he chose the stripes. It's in a situation where he has to win this game to force the 3rd game, but again, it's a double elimination tournament. There'll be either 14 or 15 of these matches played today, depending on whether the winner loses one of the matches. Shooting might be the 10 ball in the corner. Well, he has a little choice. He's got to shoot for that 9. He hits it just enough to move it. He knew if he made it, it'd be tough to leave the cue ball in position where he could hit the 12 ball. This is Giro's first shot. going to 4. He's got a good view of the 1, but I don't know if he has a shot anywhere. Well, he's going to try to put the 1 into the corner. Looks like he may kiss it off the 8 ball. That'd be dangerous, but he's going to... No, he's going to try to kiss it off the 5 ball. He did that, but came nowhere near the pocket. He has, however, hidden the 12 ball fairly well. Hathaway surveying the situation. He does have the 9 ball, and he's going to have to shoot that one. But again, he may play it safe and just put the ball near the pocket where he can get it. I think he would probably want to get it. Well, that's not a bad leave as far as where the 9 ball is. But again, he didn't try to make it because he knew he'd be a tough shot to hit the 12. He could probably hit it coming off that bank, but all that would do is clear it out and leave Rick Giro with a couple other shots. Rick has to hit his ball first. He's hoping for a combination here, and he gets it. But his 2 was touching the 12. And he's got the 5 to hit. Where he's going to try to put that, we'll have to find out. We may see a safe shot once again. I would think he'll just take a safe type of a shot and let Hathaway worry about... No, he's going to try to put it in. Or at least he called the pocket. And he made it. I'm not sure he's... would have been disappointed if he hadn't made it. I think it's come down to a game of strategy right here. Another fan getting in the way. No, that's Jay Montpelier. Jay, is there a rule as far as a ball having to travel a certain distance on a touch? You can just touch that as long as there's no thing that a cue ball has to at least travel 1 rotation or anything, or because you can just barely touch that too and not disturb anything. And
well, the rule on that, Calvin, is a ball must touch a rail. So if he just touched the 2 very easy and the cue ball rolled over to the rail, he was going for it.
So after he hits the ball, something has to touch the rail. It has to be hit hard enough that either the cue ball or one of the other balls will hit
That's
the
right.
rail.
That's right. And if anything is pocketed, then that rule doesn't apply.
Well, he went for broke, and he may be looking at a 3rd game in this match. I saw Hathaway put that in his pocket, the token in his pocket. If he put that token in his pocket and shot the 8 ball, he'd lose.
That'd be a loss of the game, especially when the referee comes over and hands it to you. But he was thinking about it.
Well, Rick's going to have to shoot to win it. He almost won it on the 8 going in the side. Where was the first qualifying tournament held this year, Jay?
It was at the American Legion Post 504 in Sable Forks. These guys here, Rick qualified at the Riverside Hotel and Bowling Lanes in Osceola. That was our third tournament of the 8. And Bill Hathaway qualified at the VFW Post 14-18 in Champlain. Here's a tied score, people, 1-1.
Okay, Rick is up for his break on the third game of this match. So the first match of the day is going to a rubber game. Rick Giro, the defending champion. Well, looks like he's going to try for the high balls, stripes. Nine in the side, straight in, nice shot. The referees are making sure that he hits his ball first. The two referees, so you assume that at least one of them will have a good view. They got a long day here. I see the referee here moving over, making sure the stick doesn't accidentally touch a ball. Looks like he does have a look at the 10 ball up on the rail. Got the 12 and the 15. He'll try to break them out on the. Not able to do so. Has to hit the 12 first. He's trying to put that 12 into the corner. And he's got the easy shot to 15, but then he's got to bring that cue ball out enough so he can get to the 8 ball. This is the rubber game. The loser of this goes to the loser's bracket. The winner will move into the winner's bracket. And looks like he's got a view. And probably the angle. We're going to zoom in here. Got to hit that 8 ball first. I think there's little doubt that he will. He's lined his shot up. And this is for the first match of the day. And Hathaway didn't get a shoot. As Rick Giro runs the table, and we go to the next match. Up next are Jeff Benware and Sean Agony. Benware won the coin flip and will be doing the first break. We'll zoom in on the rack and see what happens. Nothing went, so it's wide open. Agony will shoot. Here's the lay of the table. Has an easy shot on the 14, but then it doesn't matter what he does after that. Doesn't look like there's anything advantageous on either set of balls. Agony's still deciding. Not worried about the first shot. Of course, he's looking for that next shot and the shot after that. So he'll take the easy one. And I'll probably try to bring the 13 down into the far corner. At the 8-Ball Billiards Cafe, new establishment. This is its first full year in operation this year, 2005. Kind of a retro look to it with a nice checkerboard floor, black and white floor. And we're going to impose on Jay somewhere in the near future to tell us where a lot of these items came from. I think a lot of people will be surprised on where the hardware and furnishings came from to make this place looking as nice as it has. You'll hear a lot of names of a lot of places that most of you have been in at one time or another. Looking for the combination, and it'll be Hathaway's turn. Excuse me, Benware's turn. Jeff Benware. The winner of this one moves to the winner's bracket, and they'll face Rick Giro in that winner's bracket. Loser, of course, will go to the loser's bracket. Nice shot into the side. Loser of this one will face Bill Hathaway in that loser's bracket. He's probably going for the 1. He's got an easy shot on the 5 on the side. Got the 1 and the 2 here. Then down below we've got the 3 and the 7. Put the 5 in. Now he'll might try to sneak that 2 through. Let's see. He's going to go for the 1. Has an easy shot in the 2 now. But the question is not what's next, it's what's after what's next. A lot of English in that. You saw that ball curve. And he might have a shot on that 3 ball. Being very deliberate with it. Nope. That may or may not have been deliberate. It could have been deliberate to give his opponent Agony some problems. Looks like he's going to try to shoot the 9 ball into the corner. No, he's going to shoot it into the side. That didn't work either. All right, he's shooting the low balls, and nice shot, beautiful shot. He probably didn't care if he made that or not, because he's got a tough shot on a 7 now. He'll try to bring it back and make sure he doesn't hide himself behind that pack. You see the 8 ball in the bottom right part of your screen. So the ball comes out, and he was going to leave himself in pretty darn good shape. And that'll do, game 1 will go to Jeff Benware. Agony will break for game 2. All right, the rack is set. We'll zoom in. And we'll see where everything goes. Tight rack, the 8 ball barely moved. Jay Montpelier is busy over to the side here. There's a hard luck tournament. People that didn't win. I think they're the second. I think the way it sounded, it's only the second place finishers. We'll see. We'll see if that's correct. There's a hard luck tournament, which is starting shortly. In addition to this championship tournament. Shooting the 6. He's got the 1. At the 4 along the bank over here, and that's a tough shot. He can't get it from the, can't easily get it from the angle that he's at. Looks like he's going to probably shoot the ball down into the far corner. Shoots the 3 down there. So he's still got a shot at the 1. He's got the 2 and the 5. Along this bank. See some fellows eating in the background there. We won't zoom in on them. They do have a limited menu here at the 8 Ball Billiards. Right across from the North Country Shopping Center on Route 9. Scratched. Didn't come close to putting the 1 in either. So it'll be ball in hand for Agony. My guess is he will not leave the cue ball right there. I think he thinks he thought about it for a moment. Thought he might have a combination shot. That'd be a tough shot. I don't think they're lined up quite right for that. Ball in hand means he can put that cue ball anywhere he wants. Going to try to slide that 12 into the side parka. And he does. Looks like he's shooting the 10 into the corner. Although he might be looking at that 11. Putting bottom on the ball to draw it back. Shot the 10, he drew the ball back. He's still trying to figure if he can get a combination 14 into the 9 on his next shot. Right now he's shooting the 11. He does have the 12 up closer to us here in the bottom of your screen right now. He may shoot the 12 and come back and worry about the 14 and 11. He's going for the 12. I believe there is enough distance between the 14 and 9 that he can shoot that 14 into the 9 for the combination, but it's going to take a good shot. And at this point, it's the only shot he has. He'll probably put some follow on it. No, it looks like he's going to go low. I would probably be putting follow on it, not knowing what I'm doing. Let's put some draw on the ball. Bring the cue ball back. But he ended up following it and does not scratch. If Ben Ware can see that 4, he'll probably shoot that one. You always shoot the ball closest to the rail, all other things being equal, because the ball closest to the rail is the toughest one to get position on. He's going to go for the 1. He's got a tough road ahead of him here, because the 9 is blocking that bottom pocket. He has a shot at the 5, but his problem is what is he going to do with that 2? That 9 ball is blocking that pocket. All right, Jeff Benware is going to try to put that 5 in the corner. He's going to try to come off the rail with that 2 and hopefully not bop in the 8 ball. But even so, it's a tough shot. Even without that 8 ball there. Gonna have to hit it hard. No. Didn't have to hit it hard as hard as I thought he would have had to. Did move the 8. Put the 8 against the rail. Put in the 9 ball. Easy shot in the 14 for Agnew. Check that, Agony, not Agnew. Agony, Sean Agony, Jeff Benware. Benware leading 1-0 in this match. Agony about to tie it up, I guess. All he has to do is make this shot and not follow that ball to the point where he'd scratch or leave himself without a shot on the 8. So he's in pretty good position here. He's going to try to angle it, bring that cue ball out more, rather than try to follow it. And I don't think this is a particularly good position. Certainly a doable shot, but it's a tougher shot than what he could have had if he'd left his cue ball down below. I think he was afraid of leaving the cue ball in this general area here, where he would have wanted to leave it out in this general area. Instead, he ends up bringing it way back here. He has put his token in the corner. And he's got a tough shot. Your hard luck tournament all set, Jay?
It's all going. We've got a dozen players. We're playing on 2 tables. It's going to be a race to 3, double elimination. $70 for first place, $60 for second place, and $45 for third place.
Okay, so it's not just the second place finishers. Anybody who entered a tournament and didn't win?
Yes, anybody that played any location just once can play.
Okay, Benware is going to try to shoot that 2 in. Looks like it's right on the rail. And he doesn't get a good shot on it. He was worried more about position on the 8. He hit it real hard. If he shot it lighter, it would have been an easier shot, but he was worried about where the cue ball was going to end up. And he ends up giving Agony a chance to tie up this match. Looks like a relatively easy shot for Agony. And we're going to the rubber game of this second match of the day. Okay, Benware about to break for the rubber game. Which order were the tournaments held? The various qualifying spots, Jay? You have to refer to the sheet?
All the time, Calvin. I got a short memory span. Our first location was the American Legion 504 in Osable Forks.
Now, you do this to bring in bowlers from areas that started as a Northern Tier tournament, Were you able to bring in many bowlers from that southern Clinton County, northern Essex County area?
Well, when we started expanding the tournament to different communities, we're bringing new players in. Like Jeff here, we picked up Jeff Benware from Malone when we honored Barton's Billiard Academy in Malone. And each year we try to get a couple new players in. So our first location this year was the American Legion 504 in Osable Forks. The second location was Tourney, Maine in Osable Forks.
So did you pick up any bowlers from that area?
Well, we did.
Pool players from that area?
We picked up pool players from that area, but they didn't qualify. Like Stubby Kilburn has qualified before. That's his hometown, so he played there. We had new players in the tournament. They just didn't happen to qualify. Usually, Calvin, each year, as it's been going for like the past 10 years, only one new person gets into the finals. But this year we happen to have 2 new ones, and also we only have 2 returners from last year's tournament. It'd be Rick Giroux and Neil Young, both past champions. Rick won last year and Neil won a couple years ago.
So do you get a lot of people from Plattsburgh area, Malone, Chateauguay, Champlain that go down to say like Osable Forks to compete in those early tournaments, early rounds?
Some of them, some of our regular players, like Herbie Collins, for example, showed up in Osable Forks.
Well, he goes to all of them, right?
Herbie usually goes until he qualifies, but this year he only had to go twice. And a lot of these guys that we're picking up in the different towns are going to Rouse's Point and Champlain to play. We had Stubby from Osable and Herbie from Chateauguay and Jeff Benware here, who he's playing for Armin's, traveled up there to play in the Northern Tier. And the reason why we changed the name from the annual Northern Tier Winter Carnival Pool Tournament to the 8-Ball Billiards Regional Winter Pool Tournament is because the Northern Tier canceled their Winter Carnival, so we didn't want to stop this tournament. And it's still going hard and strong. Is it still choice here, Calvin?
I believe so. I'd like you to, in the future, borrow a shot clock from the basketball places and put up a 30-second shot clock on these.
Well, actually, the rule's 2 minutes. And usually in the big tournaments, they, well, the pros, it's less, but in the area tournament here, it's a 2-minute rule. If they can't make up their mind in 2 minutes, probably it's time to stop playing pool.
This is a rubber game here. The winner will face Rick Giroux, the loser Bill Hathaway. And only the second match of the day. We've got 12 or 13 more of these to go. Do you draw from the 8 to decide who plays who today?
Yes, we took 8 cards and it was a random draw. In years past, we would take like the first location and play the second location, but in order to make it fair, we just went to a random draw. It was a very nice shot, very hard shot, and he still has the shot to go.
Today's matches seem to be going at a, maybe it's because I'm getting older and more anxious here, but seem to be going at a slower pace than in years past.
Well, Calvin, the first few matches of the day, the guys are really nervous and they want to win. They want to stay in the winner's bracket. I think once they have a few drinks in them and time goes on, it's going to be going a little bit faster.
A few drinks, I mean carbonated beverages, soda?
Oh yeah, 7-Up, Pepsi.
Mountain Dew makes you go fast too.
Yeah, that gives you the old caffeine.
Now you do have a beer and wine license here, and you do have a limited menu, right?
Well, it's not a limited menu. We have a full kitchen.
You have lobster.
Well, we don't have T-bone steaks and lobster, but
Okay, I didn't mean to insult your menu here, but you do have a menu that is not 300 items long.
no. We have all that normal bar food. Fries and wings and burgers, salads and wraps.
Salads.
Now you don't put
That's
those in
good
a
for
fryer.
you. That's-
Yeah, that's good for you. You don't put those in a fryer.
Looks like he's going to try to squeeze the 9. No, he's going to put it up in the top. I think he looked briefly while we were off camera at the side pocket, but I think he's going to go up with it. Too hard. Now Benware is going to decide what he's going to do. He's going to shoot that 7. Except for the 1 ball, which is up here at the top rail. All of his other balls are down in the bottom portion of the table. The high balls are right in the middle of the table where you like to see them. He's got a shot at that 1, so he's going to go for that one and keep his ball down low after. Left himself a nice shot on the 2 there, didn't he?
Yeah, he had a nice little breakout. Didn't push too many balls around, and looks like if he plays it out right, Calvin, he could do it.
I don't recall seeing agony in any of these tournaments before. Has Benware been in them?
Jeff came one time. He has played more than that, but he qualified 1 year, and he's from Malone. And Sean, I was looking up last year, played in almost every tournament, didn't qualify, so he really wanted to be here bad. He did beat Gary Dubuque, our past numerous champion, at the Bull Mart in the finals to get here.
What establishments have been with you right from the start?
I believe the only one off my memory, Calvin, would be Ironman's right from day one. But other ones that have been a long time are the American Legion and Ross's Point. That's about it. The VFW Post 1418 has been in the last number of years.
Walmart?
And the Bull Mart has been, that'd probably be the 3rd longest. They've probably been in it the last 8 or 9 years. And it used to be called the Mechanics Inn, and when Bob Armstrong owned it, he was in the tournament. And then
That's Big Jeff's place.
Big Jeff's, so they haven't been in it for a few years. And because Country Club was in it and Manny's was in it, but due to the closing, and Robin's Nest, but due to
They're all gone.
so they're all gone. So we talked to the owners of Big Jeff's, and they wanted to get in it.
I prefer the name Big Jeff's to the Stumble Inn. Let's get what it was called in its previous life.
Yeah, Stumble In kind of doesn't make it sound too good.
No. I'm surprised the liquor board even allowed that name, because I think they can disqualify some names. I'm even surprised that they allowed that name.
Yeah, it doesn't give the place a very good light, does it, Cal?
This is 1-1 here, yes.
Visit RoHawCasino.com for all the ways you can win. Check out the Van Halen Women and Children first, next. The Wizard 106.7 WIZ. Straight from City Hall to Oxford Mayor Davis Stewart.
Agony missing that one. I think that's what we see quite frequently. Instead of making sure of the shot, the player is looking to get position and misses a shot that he should have made. But he didn't leave Benware with much from anything here. He's got his 6, which I don't think he can hit into that side without hitting the 14 first, which he can't do. He's got the 5, which is hidden. He's got the 3, so he hasn't got a real easy shot here to He's going to try for the 6 in the side here. We'll see if he can do it without hitting that 14 first. He hit it, but just didn't have the angle to put that in the side. All right, after much deliberation, Agony's going to shoot the 14. His problem is getting position. No, he's going to shoot the. Is that the 12? No, it's the 415. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what he's shooting at 15 for. Maybe he thought he could leave the cue ball where it is and get better position on the 9 if he came back for that 14. He had a good shot in the 14 right now, but it isn't his shot anymore.
He was setting up for his break shot, probably.
Yeah, he was looking for the next shot to get that 9 out of there. All right, Benware shooting the 3 ball. Brings it up, nice shot. But what does he do now?
Well, the thing of it is, Calvin, I don't think he was planning on making that. And if he wasn't planning on making that, he left a beautiful safety shot and it ended up coming back on him.
I said a ball has to hit the rail. Does it have to hit the rail after the ball touches something? Can he come off the rail, hit that 6, and nothing hits the rail after that? Is that still all right? It's not a scratch?
Yeah, that'd be a scratch. It has to contact a rail after contact with the cue ball.
So even though he's making a legitimate shot coming off there and the ball comes up just a little bit short of the side without hitting a rail, and his cue ball doesn't bounce back on a rail, it's a scratch.
Yes, because in fact he could just play off the rail and just barely touch the 6 ball, and he would not leave Agony a shot, and so that's why they stopped that stuff. You got to at least get something to a rail.
All right, Benware is going to try to hit that 5. He hit the 5, but that's about all he could do with it.
He did exactly what he wanted to do, Calvin. He made a beautiful safety shot. I don't think that the 9 ball will go in the side pocket clean. If it will, it could be all over, but he was trying to bring his cue ball back where it is right now.
Well, Agony is got to shoot that 9, which will break open that 6. So he's got to make this, or else he'll be in trouble. And he made it. And he's got to go for his 14 here. I can't see him shooting at 15. Can you?
No, he's going for his 14, but he's going to want to either leave the cue ball right tight to the rail, which is almost impossible, or bring his cue ball over to the right-hand side and back over so he can see the 15 by the 5. I think he's going to take a little deliberation on this one.
He takes deliberation on every shot. We've used 59 minutes of tape. If I had been taping right continuously here, we'd be up to an hour and a half of time here. What time is it in the real world? Almost 3 o'clock. This tournament started at 1 or shortly after. A little bit too hard.
But the 8 is in a precarious position.
Yeah. But you're not going to convince me he deliberately put that 8 right there.
No, I won't convince you that, but there is a little bit of luck in every game of pool, and anybody that thinks there isn't ought to watch the game a little more closely.
Okay, Benware going for the 5, which should be an easy shot. Puts a lot of some muscle into that shot.
He's going to try to come back off the rail, Calvin, and break that 8 ball out.
And he scratches, but You still got that. Was that the 14 over by the 8?
Yeah, Sean's got to do a little bit of thinking on this one, because if he does miss the breakout, Jeff probably can make that 6 in the side and break the 8 out.
All right, this is the easy one. 15 in the corner. You can obviously see the 14, but I don't see. Only thing you can do is bring it back to the other corner. What do you think?
Well, it's kind of set up for a bank shot. The thing of it is, if he goes for it and misses it, he knows it'll be all over because the 6 is an easy shot. So just calling this off the top of the hat, I would say, Calvin, that he's going to hit the 14 really easy and try to leave the cue ball right where the 14 is or close to it behind the 8.
As long as the 14 or the cue hits the rail, he's all set. He's calling that corner pocket, so he may or may not try to make it. Obviously, the better move, in our opinion, would be to just try to hide that cue ball.
Well, I thought he would try to hide the cue ball, Calvin, because he smiled to the referee, but he didn't. And by goodness, I think he left Jeff a pretty tough shot.
Can you call the 8 ball on a shot like this?
No, has to go in his own separate shot. I don't think that's a problem. I think if he makes a 6, he's not going to put the 8 ball in. There it is. Simple as that.
You had to go get that token. Your referee was sleeping.
Yeah, they take
dozing off.
They take a nap once in a while, I guess.
All right, Ben Ware will advance. He'll face or Giro. It's been so long since that first match. Rick Giro and Agony will move on to face Hathaway in the losers bracket. Up next, another first round game coming up here on Hometown Cable. Looks like Washburn has won the coin flip. He'll get the first break. And once again, we'll see how tight that rack is. We'll zoom in. Made a high ball on the break. We'll see if still choice though, so we'll see what she's shooting for. Going for the low balls. This made his 2, shooting his 5 now. May have to go for the 3. Missed it completely, get it off the rail. So he avoids a scratch. It is a scratch. That's right, it is a scratch because the ball did not hit a rail after contact. So even though there was action off the rail, it was before the contact and nothing hit the rail after that. So that is in this tournament is a scratch. So it's ball in hand for Neil Young. Young's going to take the 13. That's an easy one. Knocked that 9 ball right out of there. Didn't leave himself any particularly easy shots. May have hit that a little harder than looking for a combination. 10 into the 15. Try to put that 15 in the side, I believe. I didn't look like it could go from our angle here, but we've been fooled before. We have just one angle here, and any pool player knows you end up walking around the table, getting different views of a ball, of the lay of everything. So just having an angle here doesn't mean that we can tell what can go in and what can't go in from this particular spot. Has a shot at the 4. That's the closest ball to the rail. He may or may not shoot that one. Looks like he will. Going to try this. He's looking at that 3. He's got the 6 just the other side of his arm. And looks like he might have a shot at the 6 on the side and leave himself in easy position for the 8 ball. No, put the 6 in the corner. Shooting the 8, put the token on the side. Shoots it. And he has taken game 1 in this match. Washburn over Young. Okay, we missed a break there. We were putting a battery charging. Trying to charge the batteries between games here. We got to watch out for the length of our tapes and for the batteries. Young's going to take the high balls. Puts a 13 in the corner. Try for the 9 in the side. 13th annual pool tournament started out 12 years ago as the Northern Tier Chamber of Commerce tournament. Has grown over the years, and with the Chamber of Commerce Winter Carnival no longer going on, the tournament has continued. And its permanent home for the finals is here at the 8-Ball Billiards. 8-Ball Billiards Cafe. Route 9 in Plattsburgh, right across from the North Country Shopping Center. You can look out the window and get a nice view of Finney Sports from here. If you're lucky, you might catch a glimpse of Gary or Jerry Finney walking in or out of the store. That's what a lot of the people do while they're here, looking out the windows, looking for Gary or Jerry Finney. Washburn going for the 4. Looks like he's got a pretty good shot at running this table. The balls are all spread out. He's going to put the 6 up into the corner. Probably shoot his 5 next, which should leave him, unless he can see that 3 ball. He's going to show up to 3. He thought about it, but I don't think he can get by the 2 to get a good shot on it. Go for the 5 on the side, leave himself a shot on the 1, or maybe not. Going for the combination. We'll try to hit the 2 into the 3. Looks like the 3 is on the rail, so ball on the rail is also a little easier to put in, and if it's off the rail a bit, if you hit it just right. Because if you hit it just right, it'll just follow that rail down in. But doing it off a combination is a tricky maneuver. So he's decided to bring the one back into the corner. Gonna bounce it off and try to put it in the corner. He's not going to do it. But he leaves the cue ball where Young is going to have a little trouble making this first shot, let alone the next two. All right, Young thinks he can squeeze it in there. If he can get a combination, he did. It was just a matter of keeping that 11 ball along the rail long enough to hit into that 12 and then combination the other ball in. Because it was pretty obvious once you hit that 12 that the other one was going to go in. So Young is going to shoot his 11 and be in good position for the 8 ball and a chance to tie this up and send this one to a third game. Eight ball is in. And we are going to game 3 in this third match of the day. All right, Washburn will break. Third match of the day. 4 first round games. He's going to go for the 15. 4 first round qualifying games. Winner of this game will move on into the winner's bracket where he'll face the winner of Don Cook. And who's the other fellow? Herb Collins. The defending champion Rick Giro enjoying lunch over in the corner. He's already in the winner's bracket. Young has the low balls. He's got a nest of them right here. He's got 3 more over here. And the 3 ball up here and the 8 ball guarding that pocket. So let's see how many of these he can run down below. Looks like the 2 will go in easily. It does. Going to shoot the 4. And now it's a matter of whether he's going to go for the 7 or the 5. He's going to go for the 7. Okay, this is April 2nd, and the time is about 3:15 in the afternoon, and we have just heard the word that Pope John II has died. So just to give you an idea when this videotape was made, this pool tournament going on Saturday, April 2nd, and Pope John Paul has moved on to his reward after 26 years of leading the Roman Catholic Church. I tried to sneak that 3. He snuck the 3, and made it kind of interesting here in this corner. I think a good hard shot would send that 10 by the 3, but you don't want to do that too hard and knock that 8 into the corner. Washburn This is the rubber match of this particular rubber game of this particular match. All right, he's going for it. He's going to try to get that 10 by there. He's going to shoot it light. And he leaves this little mess for Neil Young.
How long ago did he die?
Said about 20 minutes ago. All the news channels are now focused on the Vatican. Hundreds of thousands of people outside the Vatican. Spiritual leader to Christians and not just Catholics, but many Christians considering Pope John Paul their spiritual leader. And he's done a lot to bring a peaceful coexistence between different faiths over the past quarter century. Young shooting the 5 ball. He's got his 6 down here. All right, he's gonna hit the 3, and the cue ball did hit the rail, and the ball went in. So it's a legal shot, no scratch. Let's see if Washburn can do here. Now shooting the 12. And if he makes this, should have an easy shot at the 8 ball. Looks like the 3 might even help the 8 ball go in there, but he's got to hit it just right. He's got to come in and hit that rail about the same time as he hits the 8. Washburn advances to the winner's bracket. Young will go to the loser's bracket. Washburn will play the winner of Don Cook and Herb Collins. We're zooming in on a photo of Homer Facto. This tournament is dedicated to the memory of Homer Facto in his pool hall. And this is how it looks today. Each year, Jay Montpelier tries to recognize a pool hall and its owner from the past, and this is Mr. Homer Facto, who died, I believe, about 15 years ago, if memory serves me right. And he's being honored and remembered here today with this pool tournament. There's Donnie Cook, Mr. Cook. And he made the white ball. He has the white ones. Herb Collins gets ball in hand. He's going to try to combo into the 11 ball. And it does quite easily. And by putting bottom spin on the cue ball, that put top spin on the 15 ball, and the 15 ball followed in the ball he was shooting at. So putting bottom spin, gave the other ball top spin, and I gave it follow, and he made 2 for the price of 1. And again, he makes 2 for the price of 1. Now Don Cook. Don, longtime sports figure in the North Country. Many years, ran a basketball team. And one of the respected pool players in the area. And of course, we're very grateful to Dick Cook to really convincing us to go to that Lake Champlain Bluegrass Festival last year. We had so much fun there. We're really looking forward to going there again this year. Dick Cook, Don Cook's brother, and Dick convinced us that we should head out to that Lake Champlain Festival, and we're certainly glad that we did. Now what, Don Cook? The 7 is touching the 2. It looks like they're lined up, so all he has to do is hit that 7 almost anywhere on the right side of the ball, and it's going to propel that 2 into the corner. Just like that. So that was a relatively easy shot, particularly for somebody of Don Cook's ability. Final first round match. Young Mr. Cook didn't leave himself much of a shot on the 7. It's his last ball, and he's got the 8 to contend with. Gonna try to send the 7 way down the table, I believe. Slice it thin. Good try. Didn't scratch. Put the cue ball in a pretty good spot here. Although Collins might be able to, I don't know. The cue ball is so tight to the 10, he may not be able to do anything. We'll see. Tried to put it in the corner. And looks like Mr. Cook might have an easy shot at the 7. Put the 8 on the side. And game 1 belongs to Don Cook. We'll zoom in for the Herb Collins break. He was hoping to sink the 8 on the break. But it's a good thing he didn't, because he scratched. So it's ball in hand and choice for Don Cook. Ball in hand, he's going to try to sneak the 6 into the side.
I'll take care of that. No problem.
I think he's going for the 2, closer to the bank. It's been a lot of spin and a lot of action on that ball. He's going to go for the 1. He gets it. himself much of a shot here. He's going to shoot that 4. He's got the 5 up here. Another plate of Michigan's coming out. All right, Neil Young will try to send the 10 into the corner. Now the 1 into the other, excuse me, the 9 into the other corner. So he's going to try to hit all 4 corners. One for the 4 corners here, shooting the 13. That should count as something. That should be bonus points. Now if he can put balls in the sides. But there'll be no ball on the side this time. He can hit it, or it'll go in. Got to not make sure he doesn't move that 8. Yep, he had an angle on it, but he scratched. So it's ball in hand for Don Cook. Yeah, I'd shoot that 5. He has other plans. I'd shoot that 5 first. I'm not sure what his plan was here, but he could have done something with that 5. Thinks he's going to cut it into the corner. Place your bets. He may have played this game before. Now he's got a tough shot on the 8. He's going to put it in the corner. He's got to ask for that. The refs are supposed to be right there handing him the token. He has to put the token on the pocket. If he doesn't put the token on his pocket, he can lose. He's got to do this without scratching. And he does. So Donnie Cook takes it in 2 against Herb Collins. Cook will move on into the winner's bracket. Herb Collins will move into the loser's bracket. So we'll wrap up this portion of our coverage of the 13th annual 8-ball billiards pool tournament. That concludes the first round. Check your local listings for the second round of this. So we'll be coming at you another time with the future rounds. Thanks for watching, and for those of you supporting viewer-supported local television home town.